Everyone, I'm Punya Agarwal, ACCA affiliate and one of the admins of Being ACCA, and today I'm bringing you this video for all the people who are resitting AAA specifically, because I gave my AAA in my second attempt also. Like, I failed my December attempt last year and then I gave AAA again in March. So here I am with few of the tips and few of the mistakes that I did, and I wouldn't want you guys to do it. So let's begin. Firstly, I would talk about my mistakes which I did, and then we'll continue to the tips that I would want to give if you want to attempt in the second attempt. So the very first mistake that I did was not giving the exam in correct mind frame. It is very important that you give your exam with full confidence, within right mind frame, and because if you are not in the right mind frame for giving the exam, then you are not going to score good or even understand the question, what the question is asking you for, because you would not ultimately understand the questions, right? So it is important that your mental health is fine when you are giving your papers. Buckle up yourself before you actually go on to the center, or you are giving it remotely, so it depends. So it is important to buckle up yourself and be in the right mind frame. Second mistake that I did was not practice enough. It is very important to practice, especially theoretical papers. Like, I know it is an understatement, but then for theoretical papers, it is equally important that you give your 100% towards the writing aspect of it, because ultimately in the theoretical paper you have to write, you have to actually write. So for AA also, for AAA also, I would just say that it is important to type and learn your answers when you are giving your attempt. That's all, I think. Then the third mistake that I did was about the time management. Maybe I was not very sure about the my time management techniques, and I just wrote, because in theoretical paper we tend to write a lot, right? So it is important to know that we should know our limits when we are writing. We should always follow the 1.8 minutes per mark technique and go ahead with the paper like that. So time management is very important, and that you can achieve when you are either practicing past papers or either giving mocks, which will be checked by someone, maybe your tutor or maybe your mentor. So yeah. So last mistake that I did was I was too overconfident. Maybe, like, I do want to admit it. I had cleared 10 paper back to back before I sat for AAA, and maybe I was too overconfident with it that yeah, I'll clear it. This also, I've cleared AA, I've cleared PM, which is like which has such a less pass percentage. So AAA I'll easily be able to clear. So that is the reason maybe I lagged in my practice, I lagged in my time management. Although I'm somebody who does not lack anywhere in the time management aspect of it, because I am somebody who finishes up the paper, I think 15-20 minutes before only, and this has happened throughout my ACCA journey. But then in AAA I was maybe a little bit overconfident with it, because I was thinking ki, yeah, I'll clear it. So please do not be overconfident with any paper. Might be your first paper, might be your last paper, it depends, but do not be overconfident with any of your papers. Yeah, so in my first attempt I got 46, and then in my second attempt I got 60 by following these tips which I'm gonna give you right now. So let's begin. First tip I would want to give you is practice is the key. I know many people would say this and it is overrated maybe, but then practicing, when you are practicing right, that is the time that you'll understand the concepts well, you'll understand the techniques well, you'll understand your time management well. So practicing is the key. Next is that honestly, when I gave my first attempt, obviously I took classes, but then in my second attempt I did not feel like taking reset batches or like taking classes, crash courses or something, because I knew where I lagged, which are the points that I discussed earlier. So you should know where you have lagged, you should know your weak points, weak areas. You should know if you're conceptually weak, you should know which concepts are weak, so practice more on those. So knowing where you went wrong is very, very important. So if you are giving a second attempt, make sure the topics which you are less confident in, you practice them more this time. So yeah. Third tip that I want to give is that I AAA was my second paper in professional level. I was left with 2 more papers, and when I failed AAA, I was preparing for SBL. So I did not wanted to waste my attempt of December attempt, obviously. So I sat for AAA and SBL together in March attempt, and I think I've said this previously also, that I think SBL and AAA is one of the most underrated combinations to go for, because when till the time my results came for AAA, I was already done with SBL, like the concepts part of it, little bit practice as well, because I usually start with my preparations very early. So I think that giving both these papers together actually gave me an edge to write my answers better, because in SBL it is all about techniques, writing your answers, technique is very important. So those techniques which I learned in SBL helped me a lot in AAA in writing my answers. So I think these two papers also go well with each other if you actually are thinking of doing them together. So the last thing I would just want to say is that practice mocks, give your mocks and get it checked by somebody. In triple it is very, very important. Even in double it is very important that you actually give mocks, and not only attempt mocks but get it checked by somebody. It is very important. It can be a tutor, it can be your mentor, you can take some paid mocks from somebody and ask them please review it. And basically getting your mocks checked by somebody is very important, because audit is a purely theoretical conceptual based paper, right? You don't have anything in practical. You cannot mark your answers ki yes this answer is correct, because it is a subjective paper, right? So you have to get it checked by somebody who has an experience maybe in this. And in audit, basically in double and AAA, self-review threat can arise if you are checking your papers by yourself, because obviously you won't be pointing out your own mistakes and you'll think that yeah it is correct, but it might not be, right? So all of these tips I followed, and then I was able to clear my paper with AAA. So it is okay if you fail, it is completely all right. We fail in many papers, but it is all right. We can always buckle ourselves up, and there's always a next attempt which is only 2.5 or 2 or 2.5 months away than when we are preparing for it. So it is all right to fail. And yeah, I think that's all from my side. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, or you can also message us on our Instagram page, which is Being ACCA. So yeah, thank you.